Welcome in, everybody. Yo, Cosmic. First of all, Walnut, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Doing what Walnut does best.
Oh my goodness, dude. Thank you so much for the 20 gifted subs. You guys completed a level 5 hype train before the intro was even done. Holy. I mean, 10 gifted from Drebin, plus this, actually technically 11 because he subbed himself, plus the biddies from Terra. And dude, and then 20 gifted for freaking Walnut. Oh my lord, thank you so freaking much, guys. Welcome to the Cinema Club podcast. Again, we have the beautiful Cosmic Octopus in the house. Thank you guys for showing up, showing some support. Cosmic, how you doing tonight, my dude?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good, doing real good, man. My my Overwatch buddy himself in the house.
That's me.
We definitely we vibe on a pretty much a daily basis, which is awesome. I love it. That's kind of my post stream ritual. I'm like, yo, Cosmic, yo,
Yeah.
Paladin, Reed, like, where you at? Assemble, Overwatch, assemble. But yeah, it's good to finally get you on the podcast, man. I've been meaning to get you on for quite a while. So
Feels good.
welcome. Also, we got Dad in the house. We got Tej in the house coming over
Yeah,
to
we
sub
do.
as well. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. My two sons. Tej, good to see you, brother. How you doing tonight? Oh my goodness. Yes, it is the Sire Octopus indeed. Guys, it's going to be a good podcast. We already have a list of questions for our beautiful guest here. But if you guys have any other questions, please put it in chat. Make sure you highlight your message so we do not miss it as well. But I'm going to start off with just kind of the most basic one. How did you get into streaming, my dude?
I had a friend like a local friend, that was into streaming, and he suggested I try it, and I wasn't working, so I had all this time, and that's kind of how I ended up in streaming. I did try streaming once, like 5 years ago. I had no idea what I was doing at all, and it was weird and a mess, but here we are.
Nice, beautiful. And you're actually coming up on a year coming here pretty soon as well, yeah?
Yeah, towards the end of August, if I'm not mistaken.
It's exciting, man. That's exciting for sure. We have Hextech saying shout out to the JoJo shirt. Hey, let's go.
Also, JoJo hat to match.
Let's go. Love it. I actually don't know anything about it, but hey, shout out to it anyway. What is that actually? I'm actually curious.
It's an anime.
Okay.
That I highly recommend to pretty much anybody, even if you're not into anime, because it's like one of the least anime I could think of. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for a reason. Just like the amount of references, the goofiness and silliness of like villains and like what the different characters can do. And it is actually probably one of my top anime of all time.
Okay. Is it a newer one? Did it just come out recently or?
No, that's been running since we looked it up. It was originally being written in like the 80s, I think. It's pretty old and extremely popular in Japan. Like you can't go anywhere without a JoJo reference being somewhere because it's so beloved by the Japanese.
Love it.
And it's very easily memeable. So
very memeable. Nice.
I can guarantee you have seen at least one JoJo meme in your lifetime.
I probably have. Like, it sounds familiar, but like me not being very knowledgeable anime in general, that's why I was like, "What is?"
Like,
so
have you ever heard the "Oh my God" thing? That's from JoJo's.
Okay.
Or the "Son of a bitch." Like, it's just it's the Japanese voice actor cursed in English. It's funny. I don't know. It's great.
Speaking of voice actor, we'll get into that a little bit later. But no, that was Nani. Is it from that too?
No, that's just how you say what in Japanese. It's
okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Or Z World? Like, are you talking about is the end of Z World? Like the old like YouTube thing?
No,
back in early... okay.
Zaworldo is like what one of the villains says in the third part of the show in Japanese. Otherwise, he just says the world because it's the name of his powers. And it's it's got like that like slow down thing. Oh, here's one that I know you'll know. You know the "To Be Continued" meme with the song by Roundabout? That's from JoJo's. That was like the end credits song for the first season of the show.
Got you. Okay.
And
nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, but dude, early internet, early YouTube and stuff with like the stick figures killing themselves and the ends of the world and all that stuff. Dude, that was internet gold back in the day. I don't care who you are.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm
old enough. I've been around.
Exactly.
I've been on the internet once or twice.
So we have our first question of the night from actually Darth Marie. Shout out to Darth Marie for being here. Everybody else for being here. I do appreciate you guys. Asking if you could only play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be and why would it be Overwatch?
It wouldn't be Overwatch. As salty as I get with Overwatch, all of you guys that have played with me, no, I get salty after a while. Like last night, I almost after Alt F4'd. So, I think it would probably be Dark Souls, to be honest. There's just so many like different like challenge runs and tweaks and mods and all kinds of cool things you can do to the game. It'll keep things fresh and unique every time. And I like a good challenge. So
it's interesting too because you're not the only person that I've talked to that really enjoys like replaying Dark Souls or playing it in general, but I've never played it, right? So, but it's to my understanding, it's more of like it's not an open world though, right? It's kind of like this is the story, right? It's like you go through it. And...
Nah, yes and no. It kind of depends on which game. So like the first game, you can from the hub, you can go anywhere unless like there's like specific things that lock you from progressing that you have to like a boss that you physically have to beat, which there is one. Otherwise, you can get to any area from anywhere. Whereas like in Dark Souls 2, there were a couple different areas you could go to, but it was a lot more linear. And then Dark Souls 3 was just straight linear. But it's like one of the way that Miyazaki wrote the story and everything, and like there's like no straight like story. You have to find the lore. You have to seek the story out, and that's what's really interesting about it.
Okay, got you.
So
yeah, because again,
it's got really cool lore. If you have never looked into it, it's badass as fuck.
I'll have to look into it because I always like saw Dark Souls.
It's cool. Like it's not like just like surface level. Shit runs deep.
Nice. I love that. So, I love when a game has good lore.
Oh my god, it's a just piece of art.
Because I always saw it as like this game of like, hey, do you want to grow gray hairs by the age of 21? Play this game. So that's that was my understanding.
It's not that bad. You got to play it sometime now. You gotta pop that Souls cherry.
I'm not against it. But I'm not.
I'll even be your Souls coach if I have to. I've played literally every Souls game, Soulsborne game that's existed except for Demon Souls. I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro. Soon Elden Ring when that comes out. So
yeah, I will I'll have to definitely do that, but I'm not really good when it comes to challenging things. Like I'll get a little sweaty in like some FPS and stuff like that. But when it comes to like really hard games, like I'm not that much of a gamer. I just so I might need a little bit of coaching. T says, yeah, that shirt. Oh, that shit makes me want to rip my skin off. Yeah, definitely.
He's full of poo. I carried his ass. We played it once. I've been meaning to get him to play it with me again because
Dark Souls is so fun. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
He's just mad that I trolled him a little bit when we played and I got him killed and it was funny. It was well worth it.
Did you at least clip it?
Fuck! I should have clipped it.
I take that as a
I should have clipped it. No, I did not. I did not, and I regret it.
That look on your face said it all. We have Apex Interfective in the house asking, rate these from best to worst. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and the Avengers series. And if you need me to repeat that, I can. It's also in chat as well if you need to look at it.
Yeah, I can. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking. I'd probably put Lord of the Rings at the top. Okay. Just because Tolkien is a fucking god. And then... maybe Harry Potter, Avengers, Game of Thrones, and Star Wars at the end because I don't actually like the movies very much. I like the expanded universe. I like the shows and games more than I actually like the actual films. There's more. I'm a lore nerd. I like lore. The movies don't give me enough lore, but like you watch Star Wars, like the Clone series that they had on Cartoon Network, there's lore everywhere. Like you learn about aliens, you learn about their tech, you learn about their ships, you learn about the actual government, like because like when I was a kid, when I watched episode 1 that came out like in the late 2000s or 90s or whatever, I had no idea why they were fighting. I don't know why there were droids there. No one explained what the Separatists and the Republic was all about, but they actually explained that in the show. So like, that
makes sense. Okay, that makes sense actually. Okay, so you didn't you're not so much into like the glam and the glitz and the fight scenes in this. You're like, I want to know who the hell this is, who they're with,
Where they come
where they came
from.
from. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting, and I want to dive a little bit more deeper into that as well. Obviously, as we go on, but actually, we'll dive into it now. Why do you like lore? Have you always been kind of like person that likes history? Do you like just like the backstories because you're kind of a detail oriented person, or
So I love mythology,
okay,
which is why I actually have the Eye of Horus on my arm to represent my love for mythology. I find it really fascinating. And in some ways, at least for like us as like humans, like that's technically our history. That's like what people used to believe in and worship and believe and viewed the world. So I don't know. I like that stuff. I've always loved lore. Lore has always been like my thing. And as
okay,
someone that likes to know things, where does this come from? You know what I mean? It's just kind
yeah.
of I always like come up with like the weirdest questions, and I want to know. You know,
I like that. Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I think you're just kind of a curious person in general in terms of like.
Yeah,
So would you say you
I like
also
knowledge.
would you also say that you like kind of taking things apart and seeing how they work, sort of thing, like actual like physical things, or are you more of like
I
a
have a
mental as over
story
physical?
for you.
Okay, let's
So
hear it.
when I was 2 years old, my grandparents had a little clock. I took it apart because I wanted to see how it worked.
Okay,
I don't remember this, but I've been told multiple times that I would just take things apart to see how they worked, just because. And
yep,
I'm very much like a work with my hands kind of person, and
okay,
I do really enjoy learning how things function and so on. So
awesome.
yes,
That
I like
makes a
to
lot of
take things
sense.
apart.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm not
So
surprised. I'm not surprised that that is the case. That's really cool. I like
mhm.
that. So me on the other hand, I'm more just like instead of learning how things work, I like to create new things. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like
Mhm.
not very detailed or anything of like,
Mhm.
X equals Y plus MB, but I'm just like, huh, that blue lighting behind there would go really good with this orange lighting over here. Like, so it's interesting
Yeah.
to see how the different brains work, you know?
See, I'm actually on both spectrums. I used to love doing art. And like when I was a kid, I would like build a Lego set because I enjoyed the actual like building. And after a while, I'd be like, oh, this piece looks really cool and look really cool over here on this guy instead. It's like I
Yeah.
just like build all this kinds of crazy stuff. So like I definitely get that as well. So
Nice.
I have a
Beautiful.
little bit of a creative side.
Beautiful. We have Panda Baboon asking, why do you like bugs? And I'm assuming they're talking about like more than just bugs. Like you have reptiles and other stuff as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Indeed.
what kind of got you into that? I know a lot of people like everybody has a cat and a dog, but like let's talk about what other animals you have and why you like them.
So I have like nine different geckos. I think we actually
You
know.
have 9 now?
No, I think we got rid of one. Hold on. I think we have eight.
Damn.
Is it eight or is it nine species? I don't remember. We have some geckos, we got some snakes, we got some snails, we have three hissing cockroach colonies, two rats. I think it's like 16 different tarantulas, I
Wait,
think.
this is all in your house?
Hmm. And
Damn.
then several isopod colonies, which is a pill bug. Those aren't mine. Those are my wife's and her friends. I don't like those. They bore me.
Damn. They poor
Yeah.
yeah, you're like, I have all these tarantulas and snakes. I don't care about
Oh,
those
bro,
things.
like the things that I used to have too. Like I've had a chameleon. I've had a giant African millipede named Deanne. She was almost a foot long. I've had a green tree python. I've had all kinds of shit, man. So
Okay,
I've got a lot of stuff.
so what was your first like pet that was not like a cat or a dog, like in the whole realm of everything you just explained, and what got you into
Uh,
that? Because like that's not, I don't want to say it's not normal because
so
that sounds weird, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I've had saltwater fish with my dad. And then I've also had parrots with everyone in my house had a parrot. We each had one. So like that's kind of like maybe where the quirky pets came from. But I've always loved nature. I've always loved reptiles, and ever since I was like 5 years old, I'm like, I want a snake. And that's
Yeah,
kind of what got me started. I moved out. And I'm like, holy hell, I can get a snake. So I went and I got a snake. And then it just kind of went downhill from there.
Like you said, it just went down. Like just
It just went downhill from there. And then I met
yeah.
Kate, who also was into reptiles and stuff. And now I have a mini zoo basically.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
How did you meet Kate, by the way, if I could ask?
The internet. I'm just gonna say
Okay.
internet. Keep it
Okay.
brief.
Yeah, that's fine because I mean it's not very common that you find. I mean, not many people really collect or have the pets that you have, let alone some like
Mm-mm.
finding a girlfriend that is into that as well. Um,
So
yeah.
fun fact, there's a lot of us. It could be
Okay.
your neighbor. And I mean a lot. I have friends that have significantly more than I do. Like I have a buddy that also owns a pet store, has probably like 5 times the collection I have.
How do you keep
Like
track of
he's
that? Holy.
well, in his case, so he breeds something called a Leachianus rhacodactylus. It is the world's largest gecko, and he's got about 75.
Holy
Uh,
crap.
and they're all end up in his basement. They're all on misting systems, and then he actually takes like clear ketchup bottles because they eat a powdered diet, and he just freezes that, and then when it's time to feed him, he just goes down the line.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah.
insane.
Hmm.
That I can only imagine the cost of something like that as well because just the food and
Yeah.
everything
I
together.
mean, the powdered diet's not too bad. It usually gets probably a lot more expensive when you have as many as he does. Like we
Yeah.
have, so I got two gargs, the lychee, three. So like I've got about like 6 or 7 geckos that eat that same powdered diet. So like it goes a little quicker for me, but like he can buy it in bulk, and feeding them doesn't take 20 minutes like it does me because I have to individually make the food and then put it in their dishes and everything. So
For all of your pets or
no, just the geckos.
just the geckos?
Everything's on a different feeding schedule. Like some things need to eat daily, some things need to eat every couple of days, some things eat once a week. My boas eat once a month. So
Damn.
it's kind of all over the place. It kind of depends on what they physically need to have. Um, so
So you probably have like a notebook of like, all right, it's Jimmy the Boa is time to eat his once a month and this and that.
we actually have a calendar. It's next to our thermostat, which is just kind of like over there. So it's right in my face.
Nice. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought about? Okay, so we're gonna kind of bounce around here. Have you ever thought about doing like a stream where you show off these things, or have like, like a feeding stream or somewhere to
I
incorporate
wouldn't
that?
do feeding because people can be sensitive when it comes to things such as feeding things living things like the tarantulas. I can't feed them pre-killed like cockroaches or crickets. Like I have to throw in that live prey or they're not going to eat it.
Mm,
With the snakes, they're frozen pre-killed and they're killed in a humane way, but that can still be triggering to people.
true. Okay.
So I would not, because I've been asked this multiple times. Oh, feed the snake on stream. I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yeah. It could
So
be. You got to be careful about that because yeah, you definitely don't want to
yeah,
cross that bridge in terms of
no.
triggering somebody or whatever it may be. But I would like to see it. So if we can hop in a Discord call one of these times, I kind of want to see what the whole process is like.
Add me on Snapchat. I do have a snap of when I fed Seath which was my male boa, when he was still really little. He pretty much took the mouse like I barely caught it. It was pretty quick.
Yeah. It's pretty.
So,
Yeah.
if you add me on Snapchat, I can find it and send it to you.
I will. I will. I'll talk to you after the show and get that whole information, and then yeah, we could exchange other content. I'm just kidding. But also too. So, what is your favorite if you had to pick one or two?
Oh, at least you gave me two. In terms of things that I have or things that I would like to have, because those are two different questions.
I guess both. Like, what's your favorite, or
Um,
one of your favorites that you currently have, and what's something that you're looking to acquire in the future?
Currently, if we exclude tarantulas and just stick with reptiles, would probably be my lychee and Seath. Seath is a call albino boa constrictor. He's a Central American boa, Colombian boa, boa constrictor imperator. They don't get as big as like your typical like true red tail boas, which get about like 8 feet. He's only gonna be like maybe 5, 6. But he's a very pretty, like off white yellow color with lots of pinks and some oranges, and he's just beautiful. And my lychee
Love it.
is about as long as my whole forearm. And he's just my big chunky boy.
Chunky.
So
Hella
chunky.
chunky.
Oh, dude, if you have not seen what a lychee looks like, I will send you a picture of one later because they
Yeah.
are chunky. They are chunky.
I need to get up to
They
speed
thick.
because I definitely have not seen pretty much any of this. I kind of knew that you
Yeah.
did this sort of stuff, but like I never really dove deeper into it, so it's kind of cool. To
Oh,
be
I
able to-
wanted this to be my career at one point, dude. Like, I wanted to breed reptiles. I wanted to do educational shows, but breeding can be touchy. Like, you can lose females. There's always the fear of PETA getting involved because PETA doesn't know a damn thing about anything. So it's just not worth doing anymore.
Gotcha.
I might still do like a breeding project or two here and there. Like, I want a male for my female gargoyles. I want a female for my lychee, and then I do have a male and female boa pair. So,
Nice.
um,
So we're okay. So this may you may hate this question, but were you a fan of like Steve Irwin and stuff growing up and like those whole sort of things, or do you see that as kind of
Um,
like
that is
kinda-
probably where my love for reptiles and nature came from.
okay? So, I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna hate it or
I'm a
love
big-
it. So
No, I'm a big advocate of like Steve just wanted to show people how much he cared and loved for these animals, and to have people care and love for these animals as well. There are those that like, oh, he was a tyrant to nature, and it's like maybe he did a couple of things he shouldn't have done, but at the same time, he was just trying to educate, and there really wasn't a lot of people doing that at the time,
true.
like getting like hands on with these things, and he was just trying to show people that like respect them and they'll respect you. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. I do love
Indeed.
me some Steve Irwin as well, and I think like his son
Yeah.
or daughter is also doing some stuff like that still. Obviously,
Yes.
to a different
They
extent.
both still work at the Australian Zoo. I follow both of them on Instagram actually.
Nice.
Bindi actually just had her kid. And then his son is trying to like pretty much pick up where Steve left off. And it's nice to see, like
Yeah.
he left something behind, so I don't know, me, that man was the hero, so fight me.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. We have another couple questions in chat here. We do have Lorda mentioning, what about doing a pet cam during stream for the animals and swap it up? Like maybe you've seen people where they have like the doggo cam and this and that.
Hmm.
Maybe have a couple different for like each
So
station.
the issue that I have with that is, so my whole setup is in my living room. Everything is collectively mostly in my bedroom, but my wife is also sleeping. So like, otherwise I would totally do that if I had everything in one space. But
Yeah.
since I'd have to go all the way over there, set up a camera, and then possibly have to have a bunch of cables come back to the PC in the other room, and then, sleeping wife might be weird.
Okay,
So-
that makes sense. Maybe in the future, but in your current setup,
Yeah, in the current setup, it's not possible. If I had some stuff in a room, I'd be down. But
yeah, got you. Okay,
I
cool.
can't. So
You just got to work with what you got. Definitely.
Yeah.
Is the way to go. So we have Darth Marie asking if you could only have your floof or reptiles, which one would you choose?
don't make me pick.
Don't
Come
make-
on.
Don't make me pick out of my
Um,
kids.
I love my reptiles to death. I'd probably pick Floof because the Floof loves me back and reptiles do not.
That's
so-
fair.
I would probably pick my little Floof ham.
That is true. Yeah, and you could just cuddle
So-
it 24/7. Where
Yeah, no, like he's all about love, affection. I sit on the couch back there. He's in my lap. He doesn't do as much when I'm in my chair, but he's a lover. So
love it.
I
Love
would
it.
definitely pick Floof.
Let's actually talk about the floof for a second. By the way, if you guys don't know the floof, it's his dog, right? We call it the floof. And oh, looks like we're gonna get an appearance here. So that is what he calls the doggo, is the floof. So look at that beautiful doggo. Let's go. All right, let's talk about it. So
Floof.
name, age, social security. Let's
Um,
talk about the dog.
His name is Marley. He is a Pekingese toy poodle mix, and I believe he's about 6. We kind of, in a way, rescued him, so some of the details are a little hazy.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a little guy.
Love it.
We
Love
were
it.
actually looking for a big dog, which is funny. That we ended up with a little one. So I'm very much a big dog kind of person. My parents had 3 Labradoodles, so
Is this
I'm used to big.
the first dog that you've owned though, outside of like you
Um,
grew up with and stuff like that?
yeah,
Okay. And
yes, it is.
so you kind of just like you said, you kind of rescued him, this and that. If you were gonna get a big dog
Mhm.
though, what would it be?
I have a list.
I have a list.
So Great Dane is my top.
Ooh,
Then would come a Pity, Doberman, and Rottweiler. The wife wanted a Rottweiler. I
nice,
wanted the Pity.
nice. Lots of
So
good choices there. I think if I had to pick one,
nice and
I'd
large.
yeah, I'd probably pick a German Shepherd. I don't know what it is about them. I
Oh,
like
they're cool. They're very loyal.
you're like, yeah, they're cool, I guess.
They're not big enough.
Dude, yeah, the Great Danes are
Oh
my
yeah.
buddy had a Great Dane and it was like
Hmm.
jeez, dude. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I like big animals, which is why I have some of the biggest geckos. I have some of the biggest snakes, and my dream snake is actually a reticulated python, which can get like 18 feet long.
That's
So
insane.
I like big.
But why
Big
though?
makes me happy.
Do you have a
I
reason
don't
for it?
know. It I have no idea. There's just something about big that makes me happy. I don't know. It's kind of like just kind of like when at least when it comes to like reptiles, it's like looking at a fucking dinosaur. Like when you see, because like usually when you see like snakes or something, they're like 3 feet long, whatever. To most people, that's a big snake. That's a baby snake to me. Like,
Yeah.
it literally is like chilling with like a big reptile or big reptile, big dinosaur. Sorry. Like
Gotcha.
I would if I could have a Galapagos giant tortoise, I would, and I can, I can, but it's a tortoise and they're destructive, so I don't know if I'd want to do that. So I was like, oh, I'll get a sulcata. My wife's like, mm-mm. You're gonna have holes in the house and you're gonna have a 200-pound tortoise. So you need it to move. You need a small crane to pick it up. So
I can only imagine. Dude, that's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
want my tortoise so big that I can ride it into battle.
Oh man. Actually, yeah, so let's talk about a little bit about that actually. So talking about battle and stuff like that, were you always kind of into we already talked about lore, but were you always kind of into like the middle age? Because I know you played D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I know you're into that, which we'll talk about. But have you always
Always
kind of been into
loved.
that, or
Oh yeah. I was like one of them kids. I liked dragons. And dragons come from the medieval times mostly. So like I don't know, there's just something cool about knights and armor and slaying beasts for the princess's hand and favors from the king, and I don't know, it's just cool. And like plus like who doesn't like getting fucked up every day? Like they drink mead all the time.
cheers to mead? Let's go.
I've always wanted to try mead though. It's a dying wish.
It's good. It should be relatively easy to get and or make. It's actually not that hard to make. It's actually
Yeah, I've
easier
heard
to
it's not
make.
too bad.
From my understanding, it's easier to make than beer. So there's that.
Yeah, because it's more or less just a wine rather than being like an ale or something.
Yeah.
Um, which I also like wine. I don't like red wine. I like white wine. I like the sweetness. I don't like the
Yeah.
dry.
Well,
Dry makes me sad.
well, you could have sweet reds and you could have dry whites. So
I don't think I've had a sweet red
red.
before, but I have had at least one dry white wine before. A little weird.
A dry Riesling's actually pretty good. I like dry Rieslings.
I
Which
mostly just
I
drink
don't know.
Moscato, so like
Yeah. Either way, yeah, I think you would like mead though, because mead tends to be a little bit sweeter than like beer as well.
yeah.
It comes from honey and stuff like that, so I think you would really enjoy
Hmm.
it. But definitely try it. It can be really good. And
Yeah, it's been on my list of things. I found out that I can order it from there's a specific one that's really good that I think they make it in Canada, I think. But I can have it shipped, so that's pretty cool. But it's like $40 bottle.
yeah.
But
Well,
I'm
you said
willing to
it's
experiment.
you said it was a dying wish, so you gotta do it at least once. So awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about the whole medieval stuff. So obviously you play Dungeons and Dragons. What got you into D&D, and what are you doing with it nowadays?
I've always had a fascination with D&D, but I actually didn't play it until like a year or two ago for the first time.
Really?
Because I didn't know anybody that played, and then I had a buddy that played, and I kept asking him let me know when you have an opening. Let me know when you have an opening in your party. Like, let me know. And then a couple years ago, he's like, dude, we're starting a new campaign. You're at the top of my invite list. This is the setting. This is the edition, and make your character and go. So here we are.
Is that still the same character that you use to this day? Because
no,
okay.
We switched campaigns and editions as a whole.
Okay.
So,
TJ wanted for you to list the backstory of your character, which I don't know if he was referring to the first character or your most recent character.
Oh boy. So between both campaigns, I've played 4 characters.
Okay.
None of them have died, but the first one I got bored because I chose Druid because I was like, I guess I can heal and I can do some other things. I got really bored really quick because everyone else was pretty much doing what I wanted to do. And then so I switched to a different character, and then I got mad about that one because the other guy was doing the same things that I wanted to do while also being a rogue, because that one was also a rogue. And then we switched campaigns after I went on a vacation, and then we switched to 5th edition.
Okay.
So, but it always ends up being I got bored. So I switched character.
So he was talking about a backstory though. Do you know what character he's referring to though, or?
Probably my recent one, because I sent him the entire thing, because I spent weeks writing his backstory.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh boy, do you want me to read the whole thing, or do you want a summary? Because
whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you think is more interesting or appropriate. Probably the whole thing, I would think. But
okay.
Yeah.
I'll open it. Oh, I gotta find it real quick. Let's see.
And I want to hear your best medieval voice through the whole thing as well.
Medieval voice?
Or I don't know. Whatever you do the voices. I want to hear.
Well, I mean, Theramorn basically just sounds like Reinhardt. Theramorn Stoneforge at your service. He's a dwarf, so he's got that like gruff, dwarfy kind of voice. Hold on, I gotta see how long is this, because this is gonna be. It's chunky. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing. Chunky.
Hey, listen, there's no time limit on the podcast, so if you want to read the whole thing, I'm not opposed to it. But I will say, for those of you in chat, while he pulls it up, if you guys have any other questions for our beautiful guests, please put them in the chat. Please highlight your message so we do not miss it. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, Lena, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you. How was your stream? How are you doing tonight? And we're talking about lore, we're talking about medieval, we're talking about pets, we're talking about streaming, we're talking about a lot of cool stuff. So you guys stick around, grab the popcorn, grab something to drink, and enjoy.
I think I'm just gonna give a summary because that is a lot.
Okay.
But basically, Theramorn is a dwarf, and he comes from the city of Lanton, which was something that my DM created. It's not a preset location, because there are those. And he basically grew up with his dad being a smith, and then there was a war that broke out. They made these things called Warforged. So like they're basically like how you get robots in D&D. It's a magical construct with like a soul and a mind. They're kind of cool. But basically the whole backstory just kind of goes over his whole life. He's like 200-ish years old, and he continues to shop. His father passes away. There's heartbreak, there's sadness. He eventually down the line finds a woman that he falls in love with, and they end up having to flee the city at the end. It's pretty cool. So
nice.
He's cool. I really don't want to read the whole thing. I'll get tongue-tied so many times. Dude, I shit you not. There's like 50 paragraphs. I worked really hard on it. I'll send it to you sometime. I worked really hard on it.
Definitely send it to me. So like this is one thing, I've never played D&D, so like I don't really understand. I kind of understand how it works in a way, but like so is it more beneficial to have such a thought out backstory like that? Does that contribute to
Yes
the
and
actual?
no.
Okay,
So like first of all, it would kind of depend on who your dungeon master is, because sometimes they might want something a little bit more elaborate. Sometimes they might want something a little more loose. Which my other character, his backstory had a lot of openings. So the DM could come in and do whatever he wants with it. Um, so it kind of, and it also depends on you. You don't even have to write a backstory if you don't want to.
interesting. Okay,
So it's all about you. It's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your character? Do you want your character to be some goofy guy that floats around in a hot air balloon selling honey to people? You can do that. You wanna be a bounty hunter badass that like has a really dark, edgy backstory that's like 50 pages long? You can do that. So it literally, the world is the limit. Like you can do pretty much whatever you want with it.
interesting. Also, Sensei Spring Roll, what is up? How you doing? Welcome in, you beautiful son of a beach. Welcome in. So okay,
Love that,
interesting.
man.
So what would you say is your favorite moment from D&D? Any particular, like, again, I don't know a whole lot about it. Is there like any one particular battle or like interaction with another
Um,
person in there or your DM? Like, let's talk about that for a second.
Man, I've just been playing this for so long. I don't even know if I have a favorite moment. I mean, there was one really dramatic moment where my other character, that I put on the bench because I got bored. Um, his tongue got cut off because he was trying to break this fair maiden out of a spell, by a vampire overlord, and so he backhanded her, trying to snap her out of it. And so for punishment, he cut his tongue out, and it actually prevented him from being able to cast spells anymore.
Wow.
So I pretty much didn't get to talk for 6 months. It was fucking sucky, dude. I hated it. My DM actually apologized to me for it, but I don't know. It was a very memorable moment where he was like, "Oh, you hit one of my toys. I will make you pay." And so, like, instead of like letting the vampire do it, my character just looked at him right in the eye, not even winced, and just cut his tongue off and threw it at him.
So the this is like a Russian vampire was your DM or what?
Uh, so actually, the Russian one was my character. He was fuck, he was like an 8 foot tall Goliath. So like a Goliath is kind of like a half giant with like stony colored skin.
Okay.
And he was just a big angry guy. He was a paladin barbarian. So like barbarians get mad, paladins do smite. But like he
Yeah.
just, I don't know. The vampire had a similar accent, but it was a little different. My DM can do it. I can't do it. But
I love it. I love it. Um, so damn. So like 6 months of you not are you just like there? You're just like roll.
I mean, like I would talk and
Roll.
explain what I would do, or like how I'm trying to like communicate. I ended up, for the most part, communicating with like writing things down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but outside of that, it was my character couldn't talk, or like my DM was like, I mean, you can talk, but you this, like this, and I'm like, that doesn't sound fun.
It does not sound fun at all.
No, because he
Uh,
couldn't articulate his tongue anymore. So like I straight up couldn't cast spells, which really sucked, because as like a class that can normally cast spells,
mhm.
at least when I wasn't raging, because it's like a whole mechanic. When raging you can't cast spells. It's kind of dumb, but it makes sense. Um, but like outside all the times I could have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cast this one spell and get this fucking battle moose, which I did get later, by the way. I
Fucking battle
couldn't.
moose. What do you?
I got the battle moves right before I switched characters. But that's okay. That character ended up going with his master, and they ended up getting a battle mammoth as well. So they have the battle moose and a mammoth
A battle
named Billiam.
moose. And,
A
name
battle
Billiam.
moose.
A battle.
The mammoth's name was Billiam. The moose's name
Okay.
was Henyak. We regenerated my character's tongue back eventually, but it was like a really long process.
That's
6 months is probably an
insane.
under exaggeration. I'm not even kidding. It was like 8 months, man. It was so long. I got so bored.
Yeah, that's insane.
It
That is
was rough. It was
yeah.
rough.
That is absolutely. I would probably just be like, all right, well, I when the new campaign starts, you guys let me know. And hit me up.
Well, I mean,
'Cause-
that was part of the reason why I switched characters, because like after a while, it just, because like all my character would do with three things: swing once, swing twice, use the bonus action to swing another time because he had a special thing that let him do that, and that was my whole turn. It's like, oh, I roll a 20, that's a crit, so now I'm gonna use my smite, and that's it. And whereas the new character, because the class that he is has something called a battle maneuver, so I can do normal attacks and then do a special thing on top of that. Like I can knock people on their ass. I can knock weapons out of their arms. Like they attack me, I can like use it to like dodge and then stab them.
Yeah.
Like there's more utility. Plus, like the character's also a cleric, which gives me the ability to like cast stupid, crazy spells.
Yeah.
And I get free mini smites when I get another level in it. So I'm gonna be rolling a lot of dice pretty soon.
A lot more complex. And this is something that you guys do once a week, and or
Yeah,
something like that. Okay. And do
that's
you do
a
it
Monday
over?
thing.
Do you do it over Discord or
Um,
through Twitch
for the
or?
most part, we do it through Discord. Um, but they've been trying to do IRL sessions. They all live in the same town. I live 45 minutes away, so I normally can't do IRL sessions every week like they can. So I try to keep it more Discord and then maybe like do one or two IRL sessions if I can swing it.
Yeah.
But these are all people that I've either met before or just met through my friend. So
Nice. Oh, yeah.
yes,
Love
yes,
it. Love it. Love
indeed.
it. Maybe actually. So I did try D&D like once. It was literally like I made a character, played a little bit, and that was it. And it wasn't. I don't know. Like
How long ago was that?
how long ago? 3 years. Probably 3 years. I would think.
I think fifth edition's been out long enough because like I'm trying to determine if because if it was 3.5 and felt extremely stupidly complicated, you're playing 3.5. If it was a lot more streamlined and made actually a little bit more sense, it was fifth edition.
I think it was more
I
that
like fifth edition
okay. I think
personally,
that
but
I just didn't want the commitment at the time or whatever it may be. You know what I
yeah.
mean? For something that I wasn't necessarily like I want to play. It was more like my friends, you should try this. Like, okay, like I'll see
Mhm.
what's up.
Yeah, so that's why one
Yeah.
shots are a beautiful thing. It's a one shot campaign. You pick a level, you make your character, you talk to the DM, you play with that character in that session that one time, and then you can come and go as you please. You can it's cool.
Interesting.
3.5.
I'm not I'm not against trying it again, but I mean, dude, I'm you know me, like you've met me. I'm very like what am I doing today sort of guy. Like I'm not like, hey, I want
Yeah.
to, you know, sit here and keep track of stuff for 6, 8 months to a year at a time. So, but hey, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
it can be overwhelming.
maybe I will be your future DM. Hoo ha 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 ha. Who knows?
That sounds scary. Not gonna lie, that sounds a
more
little scary.
more more cuz I wouldn't know what the hell I'm doing, right? Um
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about your name for a second. How did you
Okay.
get the name Cosmic Octopus? Obviously, it's on your arm, essentially. Yep, there it
That
is.
is where it came from. This is exactly where it came from. There's nothing else about it. I have a tattoo of a cosmic octopus, and that's
But how'd you even get
how
that?
the
How'd
name.
you even get that idea, though?
So, uh, octopus is one of my top favorite animals, and I like space a lot. So I just put them together and made them a one piece.
Okay, so what about
So,
space do you like? What about octopuses do you like? Like, where did that
well,
even? I need
an
more context here.
octopus has probably some of the most intelligence for what it is. Like they're extremely intelligent. They can watch an other animal do something and replicate it. It doesn't even have to be another octopus. It could be a fish, it could be a person, it could be whatever. Um, they can change color to blend with their surroundings, which chameleons can't, but that's a myth. And I don't know, they're just really cool. And then space, I mean, what's not to love about space? It's big, it's the possibilities of anything is insane. The laws of physics as we know it here on our planet are could be completely different out there. The fact that there could be other life forms out there, it's just oh, I love space. And it's beautiful.
what's not to love about it? It's cold, dark, and desolate. That's what's not to love.
Oh,
I'm
but dude,
just
there's
kidding.
so much information we can learn from space.
This is true, and we have not even
No.
touched the tip of the iceberg, in
No, but
terms
we
of what
do
else
know
is
more
out
about
there.
our solar system than we do about our oceans. If you
That's
didn't know
kind of
that.
scary. That's kind of scary to think about,
That is a
actually.
scary concept. But the difference is we can send probes into space with little to no issues. When you start getting really deep, the pressure literally just crushes things like a soda can. So there's limitations on what we can send into the oceans to get to the darker, deeper parts. And not only that, but the ocean's so damn big. And honestly, not every single time when they go down in the little submarines, they don't always see anything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that's actually insane. Like, can you imagine like what
Mhm.
actually is at like the very, very, very bottom of the ocean?
I
Like,
try not to think about it because that actually gives me the heebie-jeebies a little
yeah,
bit. I do not like how anglerfish look. They are literally born of my nightmares, and there's not a lot of things that actually scare me. Like they and some of those things are huge. Like they're not small. Like they're stupid big.
that's just insane.
So
I could only imagine.
yeah,
I could
things
only
get
imagine.
crazy down at the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Sorry, I went there. Please DMCA, leave me alone. So are you so you grew up not by a coast, right? You grew up in the middle of the continent.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the Great Lakes, but like there's no ocean there.
Have you always been fascinated with like the water and stuff like that? Like, are you kind of like a person that likes
Oh
swimming
yeah,
and,
no,
doing that sort of stuff?
I love water. Don't like swimming in lakes though. I don't like not being able to see because I have like an irrational fear of leeches, which also coincides with ticks. I don't like parasites. They freak me the fuck out.
Yeah.
But I have gone free diving off a beach in I think it was the Bahamas. Me and my brother-in-law got to free dive in like 30 feet of water.
Nice.
I saw all kinds of fish. Like it was an insane experience. Like I got to see sea turtles like close and personal. Like we're talking like arm's length away from me.
That's pretty dope.
So it was an awesome experience, and I want to do it again. I want to get my scuba diving license so I can actually scuba dive next time I go somewhere where that's available. Just
Nice.
because I think it'd be really cool.
Well,
So
when you come out and visit California, I will take you to the beach. We're good to go.
good, good.
All right, we got Kid Kat Streaming asking, who in the stream world inspires you?
Who doesn't?
Ooh,
Well, in terms of big streamers, there's one that I've been watching for almost a decade. I started watching his YouTube videos. It's Lobos Jr. Uh, Souls guy does speed runs for Dark Souls. But he's a very caring person. He does uh what's the word? I'm blanking.
like
Um,
tutorials or
no, 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 no.
um,
Oh fuck. I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word. I'm blanking.
is it a certain type of
Charity,
content?
charity,
Okay,
charity. He does charity streams for like St. Jude and shit every year, like for like a whole month. And they donate hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to the benefit of the families for cancer patients like and children and stuff for St. Jude. And I just think it's just really awesome.
that is
And
awesome.
I actually dream of doing that exact thing someday. Because fuck cancer. So
Agreed. 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 Have
um
you done charity streams in the past?
no, not yet, but I've been wanting to. There's just so many different kinds of charities that I would like to do, like suicide awareness, like mental health. See if there's anything for like alopecia or like things like that. Children in need because we gotta help each other out, you know.
I agree. Excuse me. Actually, so since you brought it up, let's talk about that a little bit. What I know you you're very invested and interested and an advocate for mental health. Is there any
Mhm.
particular reason that got you into that? Because I also think it's very important as
Um,
well.
so I have lost three people when I was in high school from suicide, and I struggled with it with like myself for a very long time. And I don't know, I was at my friend's funeral and like just seeing how broken her dad was. I made a promise that I would never take my own life and I would make sure no one else takes theirs. And I just it's kind of a personal thing for me at that point. So like
Makes sense.
I don't know, no one should have to feel like that, and they should always know that there's someone out there willing to help and you can reach out and you're not alone. So you're not the only one that feels like that, and there's people here who are willing to help and listen and you know help you feel better. And
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
so
Is there anything
it's
else? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, that's it.
Oh, is there anything else that you would like to do in the future? Because obviously, like charity streams would be really awesome. have you thought about doing like mental health streams? Have you thought about maybe working with some other organization out of the stream world to kind of get more into that, or is it kind of the
Yeah,
kind of the thing
I've thought about it, but I don't know exactly how to go about it.
makes sense?
I don't know like who to talk to or like what to do because I've never done it. Anxiety makes it
Yeah.
weird. So like,
Yeah.
um, but I've definitely thought about it.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
like to
maybe
at some point.
maybe it's something that if you can get like a group of people together to kind of
Mhm.
to tackle that,
Yeah.
kind of make that a little bit easier. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We
Yes.
have Darth Marie asking front flip or back flip, no context. Okay.
Backflip because I used to be able to do backflips into pools and then dive.
There you go.
So
You gotta put the boss glasses on there.
backflip.
Let's go.
Could only do
Also,
it into a pool.
that's
So
fair. I used to be able to do it on a trampoline, and
I could
do.
front flip on a trampoline. I couldn't backflip on the trampoline.
By the way, so my
Mhm.
buddy down the street used to have the trampoline. We used to go on it all the
Mhm.
time. I don't know how I did not break a bone or die. Some of the shit that we used to do.
Dude, same. Like I would intentionally land like on this part of my shoulders and then just like flip back up. Like I don't know how I didn't break my neck.
Yeah.
Like
Do the double bounces. Like, oh, dude, it
oh
was.
my god, I would launch my sister so high into the air. Or like I would like end up taking their force and then I'd get launched into the air. I don't know how I didn't hurt people.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
be blunt about it. I don't know how we didn't break limbs on trampolines.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, definitely. One time I got
They're
my
fun,
leg
but
stuck,
oof.
and yeah, it was. I didn't break a bone though, so there you go. We're good to go. But trampolines, dude. Shout out to trampolines. Can we get a shout out in the chat for trampolines, please? I'm just kidding.
Gotta love trampolines.
We have Dorothy also asking, have you ever got sucked by a leech? Because we were talking about the lake
Nope.
stuff earlier. And
No,
you're like,
I have
I'm
not.
good off of that.
I definitely not.
Thank you, Dar. Thank you for the shout out. Wait. And they're playing games such as Crunker. I don't even know what that is, but
I've never heard of it.
shout out to trampolines regardless. All right, cool. So we already talked about pets. We already talked about that. So you mentioned that you went to the Bahamas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite places that you've traveled, and maybe like a awesome travel story if you have one?
I kind of think that that specific beach was is probably one of my favorite. We were on a cruise, so like we went to like 3 different places. The last one was in the Dominican Republic at Amber Cove, where they actually filmed the beginning scene in Jurassic Park. Not the part where they're
Yeah.
getting sucked in, but like the mines that was actually filmed there, and it was really cool. Just seeing the
Interesting.
mountains and the jungles. But the location before that was definitely my favorite, just because there was so much deep water, and like when it went out a little further, there were so many more fish, and it was awesome.
So what made you travel to that place anyway though? Because was
It was
like
it was
planned
just
that
like
you wanted
on
to go there?
the it was just like the one of the places that was on one of the stops. I didn't pick anything. My wife and my mother-in-law picked out the whole thing.
Okay.
They picked the cruise. They picked they picked which one was going to which places. And I just trusted them and went along with it. It was good.
Nice.
It's
It was a good time.
I got
Nice.
seasick the first day. Holy shit, it was so bad. Like we had a massage. It was a Wambakama Valentine's birthday gift for my fiance, and literally the spa was at the very top of the ship, so it was just doing one of these, and I thought I was gonna throw up right then and there. It was
Man.
hard to enjoy the massage, but it was good. But like the elevator scared the shit out of me. I don't think I went on another elevator the entire time we were there on the cruise ship after that.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise, so I can't relate. But
They're fun. I enjoyed it. The food was a little lackluster, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's good. I like the
Did
food on the
you-
islands was better.
Was this? Well, I would hope so. Yeah. Is this a couple years ago? Or how long ago was this?
2019 or no, 2020. It was February of 2020.
Oh
it was
shit.
right before things with COVID got really bad.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I shit you not, like a week after we got back, they locked cruise ships down for COVID.
Yeah.
So like we just barely almost got locked onto the ship.
That's insane. Well, I'm
It
glad you
was
got to
yeah.
experience that, and obviously
Oh yeah.
everybody was safe and everything too, which is good. Um, let's see. What do we got here? So travel. Where would if you could move to any place in the world, though, where would it be?
Um, I used to want to live in Florida.
Okay.
I don't want to live in Florida anymore, just because of
Why?
banned reptiles, my friend. A lot of things I have,
Ah,
I couldn't take there. So, and a lot of the big snakes that I want to have, I also can't have. Otherwise, just maybe somewhere a little bit more warm, a little more humid. Always Japan would be really cool if it wasn't so expensive.
would you be even able to take your reptiles and stuff to Japan if you wanted to, though?
I have no idea.
You haven't even looked into it, huh?
I have no. It's because it's so far out of the possibility. Like it's just so hard in general to move to Japan from another country and then trying to find a place. From
That
what
makes sense.
what I've heard. So yeah, there's this podcast that I watch on occasion that they all live they're all YouTubers that live in Japan, and like the very first episode was just them talking about the whole moving process and like what they had to do to like even be available to move to Japan from where they lived,
That's gotta be insane.
along with like the language barriers and everything like that. So um so I learned a lot about that, but it's a very beautiful place, and there's a lot of really cool scenery and stuff. My fiance and I really want to go there one day. Um, so
Yeah, I agree. I definitely want to travel
yeah,
the world and
I think it would be cool. I just want to eat all the food. I like one of my favorite things about going somewhere new or just like a restaurant is if I see something weird, I want to try it. Like there was this one time I saw this pizza place had anchovies as a topping, and I'm like, put that on one piece. I want to try that. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite thing. I wouldn't do it again, but I can say that I've done it. Or
Yeah,
there's this local Mexican place that we have, and so they had lingua, and I'm like,
like was good.
oh, I want to try that. I ended up really liking the lingua tacos. They're
Hmm.
pretty dank.
They're good. They're good.
So
You think it's weird, but like it's basically just like really fucking tender meat, essentially.
I grew up in a Polish household, so all the food looks weird or sounds weird or whatever. There's weird things in it, so like it wasn't anything like strange to me. It was literally just something on like a bucket list of food that I've always wanted to try, and he was right in front of me, so
Nice.
I
Hell yeah.
couldn't say no.
Hell yeah.
Couldn't say no.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, but we got Hazardous saying, when I go to somewhere new, I gotta hit up the local video game stores. Hashtag collector problems. Let's go. Um, so we'll go back to the food here in a second, but I actually want to bring that up. Okay, so what was kind of your first video games? Like I know Hazard, like it's literally in his name, Hazardous Game Collection, right?
Yeah.
Uh, do you also collect anything in particular, or
Um.
even in the context of video games? Like, what's kind of your history with video games?
So I've been playing video games probably since I was like 2. Game Boy
Nice.
Color. I had uh the first Mario game because I had a Game Boy Color version. Then I had Pokemon was one of my next first games that I'd ever have. That was actually mine. Um, but I've collected a couple of games. I still have like all of my PS2 games. My dad actually owns a resale shop where he sells video games and like old
Really
like vintage consoles. So yeah, so
nice.
I can get whatever I want if I wanted it. So like otherwise I collect books and I collect reptiles.
Interesting. So
So
you're an avid reader as well. Like you really
um
enjoy books.
if I have the patience, if I have the patience to sit down and read, because sometimes because I have ADHD brain, I don't always have the patience to sit down and read. But and I say this for a lot of people that don't have patience to read it at all. Audiobooks are your best friend.
I
They're
agree.
so good. Like got a long ride, audiobook. Mow your lawn for 3 hours like I do, audiobook. You can't go wrong. Long flight, it's awesome. I
Yeah.
love audiobooks. I've that's another thing I've loved ever since I was a kid. Like I had like all the Harry Potter books on audio. So
Hashtag Audacity or no. Yeah. Sponsor us. Is it Audacity or what's the
Audible, which is
Audible? Yeah.
Amazon.
Why did I say Audacity? Yeah. Anyway, sponsor us. Let's go. Hazardous
Yeah,
GC
right.
asking, does your dad have an online shop?
I don't think so, but he does post things on eBay sometimes. I'm not sure if they have a online store anymore or not, or if they had one. I'll have to ask them sometime. I don't think they have like a proper website set up, but I do know that they have a Facebook page.
Nice,
So,
nice, nice, nice. All right, beautiful. Let's go back to food here for a second. So you talk about like weird experiences and trying everything for once. What's the weirdest thing you've tried? And I don't know if you already answered that. And what's something that you would like to try that is really, 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 really weird?
um, let's see, what would be the weirdest thing? I mean, I've had escargot, which was on the cruise ship, and it was really good.
Was it good?
So
Okay,
it was very good.
interesting.
Um, I like chicken gizzards a lot. That's actually like a favorite of mine. So if you've ever had like Southern style fried chicken gizzards, mm. um, I don't know. I've eaten crickets before. That was a thing.
Like
I've
straight up
eaten dried mealworms.
hold
No,
on.
not alive.
When
They're freeze dried. They were
freeze
freeze
dried,
dried.
but not like the chocolate
Freeze
covered
dried.
ones or anything like that. Just straight
No,
up. There
no.
it
It
is.
was ranch flavored. It had like a ranch powder on it. It kind of tasted like popcorn.
Interesting. I can see that.
Hmm. Yeah. So there's very that honestly it's more of a what won't I try rather than what will I try, because there's a
Okay.
couple of things that I will stay away from, um, either due to what's in it or the possible effects or other reasons. So
Okay. We have
um,
hazardous saying, "I've eaten a hot dog out of an ice cream cone once." I like how you're like, "I've eaten snails and crickets." He's like, "Ice cream hot dog." Love it.
yeah,
Love it.
I'm like the least picky eater that I can think of. Like
Love it.
I will, like I said, I'll literally try almost everything once
Yeah,
in terms of food.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I don't go like too extreme, but I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm kind of the same way. So
Like I wouldn't try durian, mostly because it smells like rotting flesh and it's got like
see,
it'll
it's
leave almost like a fiberglass sensation. It'll leave like little fibers in your esophagus.
interesting. And you said it was
And then
Idaria, you said, or what was it?
durian,
Iduri.
durian,
Oh, durian. Oh,
durian,
jackfruit.
jackfruit. Yeah,
Yeah, I've had that.
they're the same thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a particular Asian delicacy where they actually just chop off octopus legs and just eat them. I won't do that, not just because it's moving, but because it can kill you. Because they can like suction cup to the inside of your esophagus and you can choke. Otherwise, I would totally be down.
And you're also an octopus, so we don't want to,
That doesn't stop me. An octopus, they're cannibals, dude. Don't
Are
care.
they?
They'll eat each other. Yes.
Interesting.
Squids are too. Like a lot of cephalopods are cuttlefish as well. They do not give a fuck.
Yeah,
They
I
will
need
eat
to
each
survive.
other.
Have you actually like seen an octopus in real life and or like interacted with one or just kinda-
Interacted, no, but I have seen them before. There's I think it's the aquarium in Shedd Aquarium in Illinois, Chicago. I think they had an octopus, if I'm not mistaken, which was really cool. It was blending in with the corals behind it. It was an awesome experience. They also actually had some other cool critters over there that I liked.
Nice.
I didn't expect to see. So it was a good trip. But the octopus was definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
I've always wanted an octopus, but like they're so sensitive and finicky and require so much. Like aquariums have such a hard time keeping them in their enclosures. So like they're just escape artists. So and that if they get spooked, they'll ink the entire tank and you have to drain the whole thing and clean it out. So
Damn. That's insane. That's actually
yeah,
really
that's
crazy.
it's a pet that I would like to have, but a pet that I will not have because
Yeah.
I'm not equipped for that.
Yeah, that just seems like a bunch of work on top of the 5,000 other fucking pets you have. So,
Honestly, that number is probably not off just because of how many fucking isopods we have.
love it.
And I'm not even kidding. There's like 1,000 like per bin. And then we've got like a couple hundred Madagascar giant hissing cockroaches too. So there's got like 3 different colonies of those. Which are really cool. They're like the size of my thumb.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
let's see. So when you first got into streaming, why did you choose Twitch over like Mixer, YouTube, or Facebook?
Um, well, I'm pretty sure Mixer no longer existed. Facebook just not my vibe. And YouTube, I don't know. My buddy already streamed on Twitch, so that was kind of like what really kind of got me. Is like he already knew what he was doing a little bit,
Yeah.
and he just kind of taught me as he was going on.
Okay.
Um, I like Twitch. I don't plan on switching anytime soon. Um, I like the community and the really awesome people I've met on Twitch. So
Yeah.
Twitch is my home,
I agree. I mean,
if you will.
it's definitely kind of the go-to for a lot of people. And I would not have met you and a lot of other people if I wasn't on here. So
These are true facts.
yes, indeed. Let's see. Um, what are your favorite types of games? I know you talked about Dark Souls and you talked about like the stuff that you played early on. But, like nowadays, what do you kind of see yourself going to?
I like RPGs a lot. I don't stream them very often because like I don't know how I feel about it because sometimes they're either really long or like I feel like they get boring. But RPGs are like one of my absolute favorite kinds of games. I also like RTS games, which I've never streamed before, because I'm very bad at them. But I grew up playing like Command and Conquer. I grew up playing
Okay.
like Warcraft 3 and stuff like that. So and I also one of my absolute favorite games that I can't find a digital copy of was actually Battle from Middle Earth game. So it was like all Lord of the Rings stuff, and it actually went through every battle that was like in the books and the movies. And it was so cool. It was so badass. You could like
Nice.
summon like the Nazgul or the Balrog, the Treants. It was fucking awesome.
That's awesome. I haven't played an RTS game in a long time, actually. Interesting. Maybe I should try that out again. I definitely my whole diet is consisted of like Overwatch DVD and like a random game here and there.
Yeah,
So
I feel that. I try to keep things kind of spontaneous and try not to like stick to one type of game for too long or like too often, if
mhm.
you know what I mean. But I still try to keep that key theme of I like it rough.
Oh, do you now? Oh, do you now?
Yeah, I like my games to like rip my limbs off and then beat me to death with them. Unless the game's a little bullshit like Neo 2, which is why I stopped playing it because I just wasn't having fun anymore.
Yeah.
It literally felt like the game was cheating, like the mechanics that it had, and it just kind of ruined the experience for me. So like I just kind of dropped it like a sack of potatoes.
So
So,
I already warned you that it would be coming. That They Call Me T would hop in the chat and ask some
hmm
questions, and he's asking.
oh yeah.
So, what makes a person worthy of being a moderator? Sorry, I'd ask that. It's on the board.
Well, someone at least for me, like my mods, it's like hanging out a lot. If you're willing to like accept that like moderator role, and actually like moderate on the channel, um, and that's about it. If you're willing to take the responsibility and I, obviously if you're trusted, I know why exactly why he's asking that.
Yeah,
Um,
I warned you.
it's okay. It's okay. And I know why he's asking, but it a lot of it just kind of comes down to how often someone's around. Um, is a good chunk of it. So
Definitely, and I know you. And everybody has a different perspective too. I know for you,
mhm.
you wanted to kind of cut down and have a limited amount of
Yeah,
mods, whereas my whole philosophy is more like, oh hey, you're a mod, you're a mod, you're a mod, and I
that's
actually,
how I started. But then
yeah,
after a while, when I had the clip player, I'd have someone shout out someone 6 times because there were 6 mods in the chat, which was part of the reason why I like ended up downsizing.
yeah,
And I no longer have the clip player anymore either, just because it just so much.
yeah, it's excessive. I thought about
Like
implementing
I
that
liked
myself
it as
too.
a thing, but it just became a lot after a while, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's cool. It's cool to showcase other streamers. It's cool to like. It's a cool thing to have. It's a cool thought for
hmm
sure. But it can kind of overtake certain
yeah.
segments of the stream if not done quote unquote correctly. And of course you
Not
remember.
only that, but it has scared me so many times.
Yeah.
Like by like someone else playing some scary game that game's got some scary noises. I'm playing like Phasmo or something. I hear something weird. I'm like, that's not normally in the game. What's happening?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And of course, you run the risk of also them playing like DMC music and stuff like that too, which shouldn't really happen
I don't,
because
I
in
don't think
clips
I've had that happen.
well, I think so. I've had clips, not me personally, but I've had other people that I've
Hmm.
clipped content for them that have had DMCA music, and
Hmm.
it gets taken down almost instantly anyway. So
Really?
yeah, clips they it's pretty instant. VODs, it's more like your stream's been muted. Um, but it is a thing. It is a thing for sure. So
Huh.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. I think because it's a 15, 30, 60-second thing, it's easy to
Yeah,
scan as
it's
opposed
easy
to
to
a
like
10
pinpoint. Like,
hour.
hey, that's not your music.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So we have Storm in the house saying sick tattoo, man. And
Why? Thank you.
yeah, thank you for saying that. But I also wanted to ask you, do you have any other tattoos outside of the one on your arm?
I have three. So I have this one, I have the Eye of Horus, and then I actually have my stepdad's name on my other arm, which I actually designed this one.
Nice.
Um,
Does that say
because
Zotek or what does that say?
Zbyszek.
That's his
He's got a
actual
Polish.
name?
That's the abbreviation.
Okay.
His actual name is Zbigniew. His parents are from Poland, so he's got a Polish first name.
That's
But like
insane.
to me, he's my dad. So like when I turned 18, I'm like, I want this. So
That's
I
cool.
got it tattooed.
So
That was actually my first tattoo
when you say
as
you
well.
designed it, you like actually
I drew
drew
it.
it up?
I drew that, yeah.
Interesting. Do you
Hmm.
do other drawing now, or was that just kind of a one-off thing?
That was years ago. I haven't really sat and drawn anything in so long. It's not that I lost the passion for it. I just lost like motivation and like I guess you could say like inspiration. Um but I loved painting. Painting was one of my favorite things to do. Like when I was in high school, I took a painting class just because I used to hate painting. I was like, oh, this is dumb and I hate it.
Yeah.
But then I learned and it was actually a lot of fun and it was a really good experience. I also really liked making things out of clay.
Nice.
Um,
Oh,
so I've made some cool stuff.
yeah. Have you thought about doing like painting streams and such at all? Or I know you said you lost the passion for it, but like what's kind of holding you back from doing something like that?
Just I guess like I said, just like lack of inspiration, and I always had a hard time taking what's in here and putting it on the paper.
Okay.
Was always a kind of a hard thing for me. Um, but like part of it's also like the style that like I always drew in was like usually like from like the side. And honestly, most of the time was monsters. I just liked drawing like cartoony creatures and things like that because it was just fun. Um, I had like a particular way of like doing the eyes and like the mouth. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Um, I think the last art thing I did was with chalk. At my nephew's second birthday party. It was pretty cool. I drew a fish man. I'll have to send it to you because it was pretty cool.
You gotta, dude.
It was massive.
You should get back into it, man. I know you say you struggle with putting like the idea to paper and whatnot, but like
Hmm.
why you just got to start. You just have to go in there and just do these things. But I think doing some sort of art streams and whatnot, it would be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool to see
I
what.
don't
where it
know
goes.
how I would go about it, but I could probably do like a clay stream and make things out of clay. I mean, I've
That'd be cool.
still
too.
make creatures and monsters. So
That'd be cool too, man. Like, why not? Why not? But yeah, I think that'd be really, really cool because I did not even know that you were into that sort of thing. So
oh yeah, no, my Kate is also a very big artist. She doesn't do art as often as she used to, but like she did my logo. She's done all kinds of things. She's very, very talented.
nice. I love it. And has Kate considered getting into streaming or pursuing any of that at all?
I don't think I've ever asked.
Well,
Uh,
now you should.
I might. I mean, she's got a pretty solid computer,
Nice.
which I built.
Yeah.
So
That would
I think
that would
it
be
was
interesting.
my-
Have you
I
ever
think that was
done
my
any
second PC build.
Have you ever done any co-streams with her? Because I don't think I've ever seen her.
No, she doesn't want to play games she's never played before on stream because she's afraid of embarrassing herself a little bit.
Okay.
Which I fully understand. I understand that to a T. but we've been talking about doing like a Cooking Mama stream because Cooking Mama is fun and we both like Cooking Mama.
Cooking.
Which
Oh, like the game
Cooking
cooking.
Mama, the game
The
Cooking
game.
Mama.
Okay, I was like,
Hmm.
you're doing cooking streams now? Let's go.
No, I can't cook. What do you mean I can't cook? I can
I
I
don't
can I can make
know.
spaghetti. I
Sure.
can make things on a grill, but that's about it. She's the chef in the house.
Well, maybe she could do the cooking and you'll do the chatting and drinking of the beer skis. Love it, love it. Yeah, Cookie Mama would be pretty fun. But yeah, that would be interesting. Getting some sort of co-streams going on and whatnot, just to see what happens. We have They Call Me T saying, I have another question. What made you become so awesome?
I don't know. My mama made me this way.
Good answer. Well, I guess, that's kind of the most appropriate answer for most of us, I would think.
Yeah.
Let's see. So obviously you've done some voice acting. You've done some stuff. Wait, hold on. I missed the mod question. What do you mean
There
hazard?
was
Like
a mod question.
the response to it? Well, just I don't know what to tell you.
I'm pretty sure I answered it.
Yeah, you did. Where do you want to? So voice acting, right? So I'm gonna play something for you guys really quick. This is something that Cosmic did for us. Basically, we play Overwatch together quite often, and he's constantly like doing like Reinhardt sounds, and then we even played Rust a few months back where he like had his own character called the Hermit, and
the Hermit of the Wood.
the Hermit of the Wood, and that was quite fun because literally we were going through. I was basically a cowboy. We were role playing on the server, and he was like, "Do you want to seek wisdom?" He's gonna call like stuff like that.
Do you seek wisdom from the Hermit of the Wood?
But
Do you have tribute for the Hermit?
I paid this man a lot of meat. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, you did, and it kept my horse alive because I fed it to the horse every time.
That's fucking great. But yeah, so regardless, if you guys didn't know, he does some awesome voices and stuff like that. And during Overwatch, he does some Reinhardt impressions as well. And I was like, dude, I need you to record that for me. I need you to record it. And
man, you guys begged for months for that.
we did, and thank you for finally delivering. I need more though. I need more from you. So
Well, tell me what you want.
tell me what you want, what you really, really want. All right, so here's one example.
Small peepee.
So small PP indeed. That is Brian Hart.
Small peepee.
And all that good sort of stuff. So I guess my question to you is, obviously we talked about role playing and stuff like that, but what kind of got you into the whole voice acting? What kind of got you into how were you able to do these voices, I guess would be another question.
That is a question that you've asked me a few times actually.
Right.
So growing up, my mom can do voices too. She's done voices my entire life. She would make the dog talk, she would make whatever talk, and it's just kind of an innate thing that I can do. I don't really sometimes even have to think about it. Like I think I told you the one time Tej can do that impression of Meatwad. I was drunk by the way, but he did it and I literally just did it back because it's second nature. It's not, I don't really think about it. I don't even know how I learned how to change my voice so much. It's just kind of something that comes naturally. Oh, it's good fun.
It is good fun. What's kind of your favorite character that you like to do though, if you had to pick one?
Like of my own or like another character?
Like do you like to do the Reinhardt? Is Hermit one of your favorite characters? Do you not have a favorite? Does it
Reinhardt's one of my favorites. But I actually have this one that I came up with. I call it the Wall.
Okay.
They call me the Wall. I'm so thick and large. Try to break me down. It's just kind of like a small brain, big beefcake. And I don't know, I like it. And I actually use that one a lot, but with like different accents.
Do you want to go and demonstrate the other accents or no?
No, because it's usually a spur of the moment thing. I don't even think about it. I just say things. It's
right.
Just, like I like when I was playing through Blasphemous. That was actually the voice that I used when I read all of the lore. Like when I'd pick up something and I would just read the whole thing like that.
I love it. Yeah. So do you That's actually it's interesting. Do you enjoy like doing stuff in a certain role play or a certain voice? Do you feel like that gets you more engaged in the content and or your
Um,
audience more engaged in the content, or how do you feel about that?
both, both maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Like it wasn't something I did when I first started because like I just there's like when I was playing Witcher, which was like one of the games that had like the most reading. I forgot how much reading there actually was. So then after a while, I just completely stopped reading anything. So when it came to like Blasphemous, which didn't have nearly as much, it wasn't as bad. But I do definitely kind of feel like it kind of like makes the game feel more alive and interesting
Okay.
rather than just kind of reading it like you normally would read something to somebody. You know what I mean? Like adding like a spin to it.
Yeah,
I think just definitely makes it more enjoyable to listen to.
I
There's
agree.
been times where people thought that my voice was the game because
That's
I would narrate
actually
something,
that's really cool
which
actually.
yeah. So
Do you have you okay, so here's an interesting idea. Have you ever considered doing like story time streams where you literally have like a novel or something, but you're
I've
reading it in
thought
different
about it,
personalities and stuff?
but I have a hard time reading out loud. Sometimes words will just be like become like a mismatch of just blurb.
Yeah.
So especially when it's like a lot all in a row, then I get really tongue tied and like words get all messed up. And I also forget which voices I use for which character sometimes. So um like that happened with when I was playing Loop Hero because there's like a couple different NPCs
Yeah.
and I just kept forgetting which ones were which. So
Okay, that makes
it
sense. But yeah,
they
it
all
would
kind of
be
get lost in the bank of who's this guy, who's that guy. Oh, he's got a different voice now. Oops.
love it. Love it, love it. Um they call me T asking, so how do I get a ticket to the gun show? Uh,
My guns aren't even that like great. Like look, it's so flat.
so the answer is slide those
There is no gun.
DMs.
There is no gun. There is no gun show.
Oh man. Let's see. So, okay, so what do you see the future of streaming in general being? And then we kind of touched upon it a little bit, but where do you see the future of you taking your channel and your content? Do you want to do more stuff on like YouTube videos and other content? Do you want to do different
Um,
streams? If so, what? And where do you see the platform itself going?
I don't plan on really doing too much YouTube anytime soon because I don't know how to edit anything. And I don't know. Like there's so many like playthroughs of X game, and I just don't feel like throwing it into like the mix of X game if it's oversaturated. Like the amount of Dark Souls playthroughs there are, as an example, like that whole market is just so saturated with people that play Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
I just you know. As for the platform and where it's going, I don't know. Only the answer, I think.
Okay.
It could go down the mixer route, or it could improve on what it already has. I don't know.
Okay. Do you see streaming being more of the preferred content consumption over the next few years or whatever it may be, or
Um,
do you see
I could see it with the amount of different people doing different things. Like, fuck, dude, I was in Tej's stream earlier, and a guy was like, "Yeah, I just came from a glass blowing stream. They're blowing glass."
yeah,
Like as an example. So like I could easily see this becoming eventually the more preferred platform as like people are getting more and more into it. And
yeah.
the more people do unique things and cool things outside of just gaming and in general. Um,
I think so
so
too. I think the interactive function or
hmm
part of it is kind of the biggest thing because like it's funny.
hmm
Now I'm so ingrained in the streaming culture that
hmm
I'll be watching a YouTube video and like they'll say something on the YouTube video. I'm like, okay, let me go type
and you're
something in
trying
chat. I'm like, wait, this is a pre-recorded video. I can't type in their chat.
yeah.
But I think that like the interaction, the instant gratification, and everything like that is definitely unique, but
hmm
also very very nice for various reasons. So I
hmm
think yeah, whether it be Twitch or whether it be whatever it may be, I think streaming as a whole is definitely going to be more of the content consumption coming in the next few years. So
hmm
yeah, but let's see, we have Lord Ozunex asking, what do you like most about They Call Me T?
Well, T is just overall an absolute fucking homie. That man would give you the shirt off of his back, and he really cares for all of his friends and his community. And I just think he's a really awesome person. I think he plays a little too much Pokemon, but that's just me. Um, no, I love T. T's a really good guy.
He actually made that joke the other day. In terms of like, I'm a variety streamer. If you consider Pokemon being variety, I was like, you're not funny.
I mean, if you
Let's
play
go.
different Pokemon games, that's variety.
Either way, he said my shirt would be addressed to you guys. Hey, man, it's still warmth in the end, right? No, but I agree. No, T's definitely an awesome dude. He was actually on the podcast, I think 2 episodes ago. So if you guys have not checked out that episode, it is up on YouTube. Go check it out. Go like, go comment, go subscribe, do the things all the YouTube people do. We have another question from T himself, actually. What will be the next community goal? Can we get a shave it all off goal?
No, we cannot get it because I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but we shaved my head. I have no hair. And for how long it took to grow any beard, that is not happening anytime soon. I do not want to be a naked-faced boy. In terms of community goal, I'm not really sure yet. I don't do too many because I just don't know what to do. Maybe some kind of cosplay stream, which I've always
Nice.
wanted to do but haven't been able to.
Okay.
But I have a crafty wife, so I could do pretty much whatever.
So
So.
if you were to do a cosplay stream, what would it be?
Well, I've been really digging Mandalorian lately, so maybe the Mandalorian because it would be cool. Otherwise, like Reinhardt would be cool, but Reinhardt's armor is so big and bulky, I don't think I could sit in my chair.
you just be like
Um,
playing games like this.
yeah. Otherwise, maybe I'll do a Tej cosplay if we keep it on the DL.
I've already done
Which
the
I think
Teach
could be.
cosplay, so
I
yeah.
know, I know you have.
Let
So
me
did D, and I'm like,
let
maybe
me
it's
know.
my time.
Let me know, and I will join you. I still have.
Yes.
I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen.
We we got to do it.
So let's do it. I fucking love Tej.
I love that man. That man is literally like one of my best friends on the whole planet. Like I've had best friends IRL. Like my roommate is one of my best friends, but like I've never had such a close friendship with someone online before. Like I would die for this man. Like I love him like a brother, a good friend of mine.
Love it.
So
T says he'll also do a Tej cosplay. Let's go, dude. We should all
let's do it.
we should all get together and then
But we can't let him know about it.
Right.
It's just got to be a thing that we organize in silence, and then he'll come into our stream like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. We'll have to
What the fuck, bro?
the Tej
Bruh.
Stooges. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm definitely down. You know me, I'm definitely down. He's gonna be like, dude, you guys are crazy. I think I put a smile on his face.
Oh my
though.
god, he would. Oh yeah, for sure.
If you had a favorite color, why is it purple?
Because it's purple, which is
Uh,
legitimately my favorite color.
I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing the hair color purple here, coming soon.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So
My hair was purple for a bit until we shaved my head. I still had some purple left. We had literally dyed like the whole side of my head purple,
love it.
but I wore hats all the time, so it defeated the purpose.
Has it always been purple though? Or I mean,
No.
your favorite color? I mean, not your hair.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
like, you didn't come out the womb with purple
I
hair.
have a, yes. I have a couple favorite colors. Like purple is one of them. Different, like certain shades of like orange. Being an emo kid at heart, black is definitely still like one of the top favorite colors for me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Kind of also depends on my mood, but like purple is usually like my go-to favorite.
It's a good one.
Because it's purple. So
So actually, you say
can't go wrong.
being an emo kid and everything like that.
Mhm.
What was your like favorite music and stuff growing up? Like any particular band experience, show experience?
I grew up listening to like a lot of obviously 90s pop and rock music because it's when I was raised. But then on top of that, I was also raised listening to like Metallica, Iron Maiden, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, you know, a lot of stuff like that. My uncle's like a big fan of like 70s bands. My dad likes hair bands. And then when I started getting into like my teenage years, this is what I call radio rock, which would be like Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch, certain Slipknot songs, you know, stuff like that. But outside of that, it eventually turned into metalcore. I never listened to most of like the typical emo bands. There were a couple, like I liked My Chemical Romance, because my mom actually listened to My Chemical Romance. So there's that. And then now I mixed in the metalcore with deathcore. So Tej and I actually have a very similar taste in tunage, if that gives you any kind of idea. I like it. I like it
Yes.
heavy. If the like breakdown is good enough for me to want to put my head through a wall, and I'm happy.
I approve. No, it's actually something that we connected with as well because
Hmm.
um like Tej was like playing all these like songs on stream and this that I'm like, oh, you listen to this band? Oh, you listen to this band, bro? Like hell yeah, like let's fucking go. And yeah, I think
Big facts.
yeah, I've kind of come from the similar boat of where it's evolved over the years, where I started, with the
Hmm.
Metallica, the Linkin Park, this and that, and now I'm just like,
Yep.
how heavy can we
Let
get?
Let me ask you a question. What
Yes.
was your favorite Linkin Park album?
Album?
Album.
Oh, geez, why do you got to put me through that? I
Because I
would
had
have,
to.
I would have to say probably, Hybrid Theory if I had to pick.
Okay, we can continue to be friends then.
Okay, if I had, yeah,
Because
if I had,
that is also my favorite and my first Linkin Park album I actually ever like had and listened to.
is that their first?
I actually
Is that their
I
actual
don't know if
first?
I don't know if it's
Let me
their first, but it was definitely my first.
let me look it up actually.
My parents actually had this baby grand piano in our like one of the rooms that they had. And I actually taught myself how to play the piano parts from In the End by ear.
Nice.
Had no idea how to play piano, but I could play
That's
that.
dope. That's
I could
fucking
also
dope.
play the opening for Welcome to the Black Parade as well. I learned that one by ear as well. So
Meteor is one of my favorites. So okay, so actually,
that's a good album too.
Hybrid Theory was the first one. Meteor is really good as well. So it went Hybrid Theory,
Hmm.
Meteora, Minutes to Midnight, Thousand Suns, Living Things, Hunting Party, One More Light. So I mean, obviously newer stuff. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Hybrid Theory was just like that is the most fucking like that was ahead of its time. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
Like that came out in
Yeah.
2000, and
Uh, the last album that I actually sat and listened to and enjoyed was Minutes to Midnight.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, Hybrid Theory was definitely my absolute favorite. We're talking like elementary school cosmic and like fourth, fifth, sixth grade listening to Hybrid Theory.
yeah, dude.
So,
Like I had the fucking CD player with the
did
CD,
you?
my little
I
fucking
think
headphones. I was sitting at the fucking ballpark. Oh, dude,
I
the
think I had a
memories.
burned CD. I didn't even have like the actual copy. Um,
Yeah.
but I actually had a friend in middle school who made fun of me for it. Because he's like, "Oh, you're listening to your screaming death metal." I'm like, "Bruh, it's Linkin Park. What do you mean screaming death metal? What are you
Yeah.
on?"
I mean, there's a little bit of screams in there, but yeah, dude, like that was definitely
Yeah.
that was definitely the gateway drug in terms of getting into heavier
Oh my
stuff.
God,
And
yeah. Well,
and
that
from
eventually led to System of a Down. Ooh, my System of a Down streak was mean.
dude,
Uh,
yeah, so same thing, System
um,
of a Down, bro.
mhm,
And then what really got me on to like the metal scene was Lamb of God,
mhm.
honestly.
All That Remains.
Oh, All That Remains too,
Uh,
dude. I had their fucking
mhm.
tour DVD that I
Did
would
you?
watch.
Oh,
I would
that's
watch
cool.
a lot. I would
Yeah,
watch that a lot.
when I was a kid, I would buy an album for one song, and then I would fall in love with the entire album. So like I did that with so many different bands, but like one of my absolute favorites was the All That Remains album that I had.
Hmm.
Um, which
Okay.
was way heavier than I thought it was going to be when I bought it. Because like the only song I had two songs I'd heard on it was Forever in Your Hands in 2 weeks. And
So
then I heard some of the other songs. I'm like, oh, I like that
I like that.
because it
Did
was
you
so much heavier.
did you find out or did you listen to All That Remains before or after Guitar Hero?
Before.
Okay, just checking.
I didn't even know what Guitar Hero had All the Remains on it.
I forget which Guitar Hero, but let me see. Let me find out. Let me remember what
Because I know that wasn't
song.
on Guitar Hero 3,
It
because
was
that
on.
was
It
where I was
was.
first introduced to Killswitch
It
Engage.
was on Guitar Hero 2, and it was the song
Oh.
6, which is an amazing song.
Ooh, I love the way that song opens with the low growl at the end at
Yeah,
the beginning.
yeah,
Oh, that's a really good album too.
definitely,
Oh, so
definitely.
good.
How about
So good.
how about some Pop Evil or Avenged Sevenfold? I like both those bands. Obviously, different kind of caliber. A7X is still pretty heavy. Pop Evil not as heavy, but I still like them. What about you?
I don't like Avenged Sevenfold's newer albums.
Well, I mean,
Like the one that I really liked, like the most recent one out of the ones that were recent was Nightmare. Otherwise, like the album after that was okay. I didn't really vibe with the rest of it.
well, that was
I actually got to
when
see
Rev
them
was
once, which was
that's when
awesome.
Rev was still alive, I think, right?
Um, for like a couple of songs, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think he was. They recorded Nightmare. He was still alive, and I think there was like maybe like one or two other songs that he even did vocals on, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think you're right. I think you're
Um,
right.
but I did get to see them. It was fucking lit. I
Yep.
got to see it was Avenged Sevenfold one night, and then the night before that was Disturbed. It was
Yes.
just like a bunch of like bands like that. It was fucking awesome. And when they played Sound of Silence, they wheeled out a whole piano for it.
Dude,
It was
okay.
the coolest thing ever.
I want to talk about that for a second because I did not like Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence
Hmm.
at all. But
Really?
when I seen them play it live, I was like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
It hit me different, and like you said, they
It,
rolled at the piano, the pyrotechnics, and I was like,
oh my God, the
it
pyrotechnics.
gave
And I'd never been to a show with pyrotechnics before those, like that weekend. Every show I'd ever been
really,
to inside.
really,
So, mhm. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of great venues for like metal and rock shows around in Wisconsin. So
yeah.
unfortunately, but it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Kit Kat, it seems so cheesy. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like when I saw it live, I don't know if they played it different or what. I just it kind of just put the peanut butter to the jelly for me.
I'm
And
a firm believer that like if studios don't always do like a song justice like compared to a live performance, but then it can also go the other way because I've seen bands that like studio, loved it, heard it live, absolutely hated it,
mm-hmm. Breaking
and
Benjamin.
that's actually what happened to.
Sorry,
Oh my God, I saw them twice in 1 week.
I had
That
to go
was that
there.
was
And
that
how
was
was that?
crazy. No, it's okay.
How was that experience for you?
It was okay. I wasn't. I liked
Yeah,
like
it just
I only liked really one album. And at that point, and like when they were playing, it was literally only the one guy was the original member at that point, and I didn't know
yeah.
most of the songs they played at that either. So I was like, but it
Maybe
was
that
weird because
yeah.
they didn't have an opener on the second show. So like,
Mm,
oh boy,
yeah.
that was weird. They played for 2 hours. Like, all right.
Yeah. 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 No, I mean great band, but yeah, just the
Oh
live
yeah.
performance didn't really do it for me. We have Kit Kat asking, what was your first concert that you attended?
I don't want to answer that one.
Okay. Mine was Backstreet Boys. I'll
I
answer
mean, I'm gonna answer it, but I'm not happy about it.
it.
I only remember one band that played because it was the only band that I was there to see, and it was Black Veil Brides, and it was I think they had their first two albums out, and that was it. Didn't like
Okay.
the second album, liked the first album, can't stand them now
Okay.
at
That's
all.
fair.
Period.
That's fair.
Oh God,
Let's see. Mine was worse. Let's hear it, Kit Kat. Also, Bring Me the
yeah, I
Horizon.
gotta hear
Let's
that.
go.
I liked
Bring,
old Bring Me the Horizon. I don't.
yeah. And
It's
just
too
like
poppy now for me.
it's pretty poppy. I appreciate some of their songs, but we also have just Canadian asking, how about A Day to Remember?
Ooh.
I like A Day to Remember. Again, more of
I've
their
always
older
wanted to
stuff,
see Data
but
Member live.
even their new
I
stuff's
also
still
agree on
good.
the older stuff.
You know, but
Their older stuff
we
was
grew
my
up
jam.
in those mid 2000s. Like, yo, I'm just
Hmm.
just like that funky time where all
Yep.
the genres were mixing and this and that, and yeah, it was a good time to be alive.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Kika
definitely
says
interesting.
mine was worse. It was Nickelback and Puddle of Mud. Hey, I actually like Puddle of Mud, but yeah, fuck Nickelback.
Ooh, no. apply. I do not approve. It's his stamp of unapproval.
Okay, well here's the thing. The reason why I like that band is because maybe not so much of the band or the music, but because of
Hmm.
the memories I had when listening. I was with some of my favorite people when listening to it. That's why.
I feel that I'm definitely one of those people where like usually there's albums that I actually associate with like times of my life or like people.
Exactly.
So I actually don't listen to Hypnotize very often because it makes me sad because of the time it was. And
Hmm.
same thing with Minutes to Midnight.
Hmm.
Um, just because of the people that I associated it with, it just kind of not so much anymore, but when I was younger, I would intentionally just completely avoid listening to anything from either albums just because it just time. But yes.
I think that's true too. For me, it's a lot like food too, where you have like these, like for example, like why are grandma's home baked cookies so much better than uh store bought or
Like
this and
store
that,
bought ones, yeah.
and whatever. It's the memories behind it. It's the sensation
Yeah.
and the feeling you get from it. I think that music and food are very 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 similar
Hmm.
in that regard.
Well, because food and like smells are one of the very like more like powerful sensations, so it's a lot easier to associate them with memories or people.
Yeah.
Like there's this particular like two particular smells that remind me of both of my grandmothers because like that they always smelled like it. Like my like if I smell anything that smells like my grandma's shampoo, I'm like, grandma.
Yeah.
Or the other one is like a weird vanilla smell.
Hmm.
Reminds me of my other grandmother. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And it puts you in a
it's a
certain
thing.
state of
Yeah,
mind.
it's almost like traveling through time for me
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. Like it's kind of interesting.
Definitely.
So
I could see that. Um,
mhm.
it's cool though too. It's cool that we can have those associations, and going back to the whole music thing too. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
I listen to Linkin Park or listen to these people, and I'm just like, man, I remember,
Mhm.
13-year-old me with fucking in my emo stage and this and that. And it's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
it puts perspective on things, but it also brings back the good memories and sometimes bad memories. But it brings
Yeah.
back things to where, like, especially as an adult, you're in the grind every single day, and you have your head down and you're working and this and that.
Yeah.
It kind of, like you said, time travels you. It pulls you out of that a little
Hmm.
bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're out of your emo stage, Mike. I'm gonna for legal reasons,
once
I can answer that.
once an emo kid, always an emo kid. And
That's so
that those are the
true.
rules that I swear by. I no longer dress like it anymore, but I'm still that same emo kid at heart.
I love it. I love it.
I'm also
Um,
too fat for most of my shirts, so like I can't fit in them anymore. Then
so
I used to wear so much jewelry too. Like
yeah,
it was hot, very
yeah,
hot.
I agree. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to look back on these things.
Hmm.
What's one band that you have not seen yet that you really want to see one day?
Periphery.
Ooh, yes.
Because a lot of like the other bands that I have seen are bands that I've always wanted to see. Like I got to see Veil of Maya once, which is one of my absolute favorites, which was really cool. I used to be really big into Motionless in White. I'm
Okay.
actually sick of seeing Motionless in White because I've seen them like 7+ times. I also
Really?
don't like, yeah, I don't like most of their new music anymore anyway. But
Yeah.
and same thing with Whitechapel. I've seen Whitechapel like 7 times, dude. Like
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of shows.
Yeah.
A lot of shows. Been a lot of concerts I've been to.
Um, let's see. Yeah, I guess so. That's kind of me with Lamb of God. I'm not tired of seeing Lamb of God, but I've seen them probably about like seven
Hmm.
times or something like that.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, some bands it's still an experience every time, but like some other bands, it's like,
yeah.
oh, of course you're gonna play this song. I totally haven't heard you play it like 6 times before.
Yeah, you have those crowd favorites though, man. They got to do it.
Oh yeah.
Um, Beautiful. We have a Kit Kat asked a question a little while back. They said, "What is your favorite all-time game?" Which I think you kind of answered, maybe not.
Mm, I don't really have one. As much as I love Dark Souls, I also really like Bloodborne and Sekiro and Pokemon and Halo is a soft spot in my heart.
Oh
Like Witcher
God,
3. Like there's just like such a list of games. I physically cannot pick a favorite.
nice.
It is impossible. I'm always weird with people. I can't pick favorite anything. Like if you ask my favorite band, I'm like, here's just
Yeah.
three to appease you. I don't know. There's too many. Don't make me pick.
It's one of those things, man, where I think that's not a bad thing though, too, because like it shows that variety is the spice of life, and it depends on a lot of things. Depends on your mood. It depends on, you know, if you're playing with
Hmm.
somebody or not playing with somebody, and whatever it may be. So
Yeah.
yeah. Do either of you like Mushroomhead? I like Mushroomhead. What about you?
I'm indifferent. It's
Okay.
I would definitely I would say that's like not my genre of
Yeah.
rock music anymore, so it's not something I'd like go out of my way to listen to. I mean, it's on and like I'll throw down, but
Yeah.
it's not something I go out of my way to jam to.
Fair.
So
Fair. All right, cool. I'm coming down to my last few questions here. If you guys have any more questions in chat, please post them. Please highlight your message as well so we do not miss it. But yeah, we're going to ask a few more questions and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So, Cosmic, if you would like to start seeing who's online, who you would like to raid, definitely start doing a little bit of reconnaissance.
all right.
But
I already
have
have an idea.
okay,
So
perfect. Perfect. So, you kind of talked about it, but I want to ask again just to make sure we have the answer. What is your dream job?
um well, my answer has changed several times over the years, depending on like the state of my life. Like there was one point I wanted to be an astronaut. I can't be an astronaut anymore. I'm
Yeah,
too old. I'm not. I was never been smart enough. Marine biologist was something else that would be kind of cool, just to like experience like the ocean and explore and learn. Then there was the point where I wanted to have my own business with reptiles. But now I'd say my dream job is actually streaming, because I already stream full time, but like to make this like a stable staple of my life as a career would be really cool someday.
I
So
like it.
that is my new dream.
What if you were a streaming astronaut who is in the ocean? Astronaut in the ocean, you know? Sorry,
That would be really cool.
I had to make a reference to the song too.
That
That
would
was overplayed.
that would
That
definitely
would
be cool.
that would be cool. That would be cool. Cosmic's going to explore 95% of the ocean that is unknown. Yes, yes, indeed. He will find the true
Oh yeah.
cosmic octopus.
You mean the giant squid?
The giant squid. All right.
Mhm.
So what are some other things that you like to nerd out about? I know you like your D&D, you like your video games, you like your books and lore. Is there anything else that we haven't touched upon that you like to really nerd out about?
Usually when it comes to nerdy things, it depends on like what my mood is on. So like what I'm like hyper focused on. Right now it's Star Wars because we're watching Mandalorian.
Nice.
So I've been kind of nerding on my wife about it. Um, Otherwise it literally just kind of depends on what I'm doing. Like I'll nerd about Halo lore, I'll nerd out about Dark Souls lore, or just I'm just overall just nerd. I do
Yes.
all the nerd things. I like MTG, like I like Magic the Gathering, I like D&D, I like video games. I just nerd guy. That's
Love it.
me.
Love it.
So I should, dude. I nerd about reptiles all the time. I'm sure you've experienced it a couple of times, where I've probably said several words that made no sense to you.
But I love it, man. It's definitely a lot of fun to just nerd out about stuff, you know what I mean? And just kind of dive deeper than whatever
Oh
you know,
yeah.
the headlines are that day or whatever it may be.
Hmm.
Um what was I gonna say? Oh, so did you play like MTG like with your friends back in the day, or
Me and my roommate got into it back in like 2016, 2015. Um, I don't go to stores that play like game stores because some of those men need a shower. And I don't like germs, so and I have anxiety, so like those things kind of make me nervous, and I've heard several horror stories. Um, so uh but I've taught my like brother-in-law how to play
Siege coming in with
and
the
whatnot.
raid? What's up, Dad? Hello. How goes it, dude? Thank you so much for the raid.
Suppose I'm gonna have to look for a different person to rate
I knew.
because that's
I
what
had,
I was gonna say.
I had a feeling that you might
Oh
have
yeah,
chose them.
I'm that predictable.
But welcome in everybody. If you guys are just now joining us, we are on the tail end of the podcast with our beautiful guest, Cosmic Octopus. TJ, how was your stream? D, what's up? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. But yeah, so did you ever play like MTG Arena, or have you ever tried streaming it or anything like that?
Arena, I have played. One of the things I don't like about Arena is when you get a card pack, you get like 6 cards, but I could go to the fucking store, pay $4 and get 15.
Yeah.
So, and I've contemplated streaming Arena, but like I'm not the best Magic player and I like jank. I don't like playing, and this is kind of how I sit with like most games as a whole. I like janky things. I like a theme, I will play with that theme no matter how many times I lose. But I usually stay away from like meta things just because I like being different. And I feel like that wouldn't go well on stream because I'm terrible at deck building.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Mini
So
Masters?
I have not, and I'm afraid to because I used to play Clash Royale, which was pretty much the same thing. And I don't normally rage really hard at games.
Yeah.
I had a full like rage breakdown to the point where I'm like, I cannot play this anymore.
Really?
I haven't touched it since.
That
No,
bad.
I got big mad at it. I'm like, I can't do it. So I don't even want to try Minion Masters for that exact reason. So
oh no, I see you, Muskrat. No worries, don't even worry about it. How you doing tonight though? Welcome in. Seriously, try going to a Magic the Gathering store as a female. It's very scary. I can only imagine.
Oh, I can only imagine, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I could definitely only imagine.
I am so sorry.
So outside of that though, like, were you also into Yu-Gi-Oh? Were you also into Pokemon? Were you also into what else was out there?
I
There's
had
like more.
Pokemon cards. Didn't learn how to play. Played Yu-Gi-Oh though, and actually that's what led me and my roommate to playing Magic instead, because we started buying like the pre-built decks, and eventually turned into, I'm gonna keep buying some until I can beat my roommate, because the one he had was unbeatable as fuck for what I had. But I actually have 3 pieces of Exodia, like 5 Blue Eyes, the Fusion, and then I have all 3 Egyptian God cards, but they're the playable ones. So
nice.
They pretty much just covered in dust at this point.
Nice.
But I still occasionally will play like Magic with my brother-in-law. Like Wizards introduced Brawl, which I actually really liked because it was like Commander but smaller. So I know occasionally he and I will play. Every once in a while, my roommate and I will rarely play every once in a bit. I've been so out of the loop on sets that like it costs so much money.
It does.
But I do really like opening the packs though. I don't know, there's just something, I like the art. That is probably one of my favorite things about Magic, is just seeing the different art and like different styles and things is just so fascinating to me. And it is probably my favorite part.
Love it. Also, TJ, thank you so much for the gifted sub to MK Robot. What's up? How you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, if you guys do have any questions for our beautiful guests, we are definitely on the tail end of the podcast here. So if you have any questions, please get them in now. Highlight your message so you can definitely not miss them in chat. But if you guys are just now tuning in, this is Cosmic Octopus. Please go follow him on all of the Twitches, all of the Twitters, all of the things. Amazing human. Does some really good stuff. Does the streaming. So definitely
the stream thing.
The streaming, the things of the stream.
The things that we do on the internet.
Yeah, definitely.
We're doing right now.
Do you have Pot of Greed? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yes, and I do have Pot of Greed. I don't remember what it does, but it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Oh, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm. It's basically this like ugly little pot with like a big shit-eating grin, and it's green. And I think it allows you to like take cards from your opponent's hand or something. I forget.
That sounds about right. Cosmic, when are you going to be doing a voice acting fiber?
I don't know. I literally have no editing skills.
I will help you with that. I will help you with that.
Okay. Well, then maybe sometime soon. I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
I have a video to send
I
you
really never considered doing voice acting until I started streaming. People keep telling me you should be a voice actor. You should be a voice actor. You should be a voice actor. So I hear it every couple of days. at this point.
If it works, then you might as well at least try it, you know?
Yeah, I think it would be cool to voice act on an anime, but I don't have anime voice.
Not
At least
yet.
not for like or at least not a protagonist, because usually protagonists are like younger. But I could do pretty solid like
Wait a
villains,
second.
maybe, or side characters.
Wait a second. We started off the podcast talking about JoJo, and you literally reenacted their voice.
I did, but it didn't sound anything like the voice.
It doesn't have to, though, man. Listen, you got to break outside of the box. Listen, we're starting a new genre of cosmic anime. We're doing it.
Oh my god! Oh, this isn't even my final form. See, I can do villains.
Nah, you're good. You're good. Ask Cosmic if he can smell you. Trigger the Morgan Freeman within. Let's hear it.
I can smell you. I'm creeping around right now. You just can't see me.
Fucking love it. Let's go. I actually blanked out on asking to hear that one as well. But yeah, guys, definitely go pop him a follow. But yeah, Walnut, I see you. Definitely enjoy your work. Get through it. 16 hours is insane. Definitely, hydrate, take some breaks, do what you got to do, brother. But thank you so much for popping in.
Eat
and
plenty of snacks
for the gifted subs earlier as well. But TJ also says you better go follow him or I'll find you. I have a specific set of skills.
I have a specific set of skills. I will find you, and I will kill you.
But yeah, we will. Someone clip it. Yeah, somebody. You're more than welcome to clip it. But yeah, so I got one more final question for you. Again, if anybody else has any more questions in the chat, please put them in now. We'll definitely ask it, and then we'll go ahead and raid out. But my final question for you, my dude, is what is your goal for 2021? It can be within streaming. It can be within just life. It can be within anything you that you want. But as of right now, what is something you're shooting for?
Maybe eventually getting our own place would be nice. My wife and I, with all of our many critters, along with Floof. And I mean, partner would be cool, but I don't think it'll happen. At least not in 2020. But who fucking knows?
True.
Definitely want to at least hit 1,000.
Yeah, I think you're getting fairly close there, right? What are you up to now?
Last time I checked, I was like 8 away from 800. I think.
See.
So
yeah, you're currently 792 as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep pushing that.
We getting there.
Yeah, we're definitely getting there, guys. Let's get him to 1,000 followers ASAP. I know a lot of people here in the community already follow Cosmic, but again, if you are new here, please go give him a follow. Awesome content creator. Definitely does a variety of games. Overwatch and Dark Souls and a bunch of other stuff. Really chill dude.
Do my best.
Yeah, really chill dude. Just go hang out with them. But yeah, I think just keep pushing. You're doing a great job. And I look forward to, seeing what you do for your 1 year, which is coming up in the end of August, and what you do for your 1,000 followers. So double follows. Let's go. Mostly use Cosmic for Stream Raiders. Hey, he does play Stream Raiders as well. So if you guys do.
I do a lot of Stream Raiders. Darth likes to. How's that Stream Raiders addiction going? Every time, because I've been doing the dungeons for like an hour or two at the beginning of my streams, and then I make sure to do like almost an entire stream just dedicated to PvP. Yeah, I really like the PvP. The PvP is a lot of fun. If you have not tried it, I definitely recommend it. Yeah. It's a nice chill kind of thing. So
definitely go check out Cosmic. Go pop him a follow. But my dude, unless there's anything else that you would like to add to that, I think it's about time to go ahead and raid out. So who are we showing some love to?
The Creature Collector.
All right. Let's see. How do I spell that?
One word.
Is it all normal spelling?
Yeah, but there's like some caps and stuff. Hold on.
I don't think you need the caps. All right,
no?
Let's see.
Otherwise, I can send you the link.
I think I got it. Is it kind of like a teal?
Anubis, yeah. Yep. No, you got it. I see it.
Okay, cool. All right, guys.
Yeah, no, she's really cool.
Are they like collecting creatures and stuff like that, or?
I think I've asked, but I think she forgot to answer that.
Well, we're gonna ask right now. Let's go.
She's got some really cool Stream Raider skins too.
Let's go. Love to see it. Voodoo, I see you popping in last minute. But guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you so much for the awesome questions. Cosmic, thank you so much for being my guest on tonight's podcast.
You're very welcome. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Indeed.
So And whether or not we were gonna play some Overwatch after this, I can't answer that for legal
I mean-
reasons. Maybe.
You know you wanna.
I know I want to.
You know you want me to carry you into
but you-
victory.
I can smell you.
I can smell you.
I love it. Again, guys, go give Cosmic Octopus a follow. Go show some love. And I will see you guys next week for another podcast episode. But until then, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys so much for the subs. All of that beautiful things. I love you all. Let's go show some love. Mwah.